disturbance on a flight from California to Hawaii.
Yeah, the incident so concerning that fighter jets were sent to escort the plane, and ABC's Matt Gutman is in Honolulu with what happened on board and the suspects brushed with the law before the flight even took off. Matt, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Paula. We now know that suspect's behavior twice raised red flags before that plane even took off from Los Angeles. But what scrambled those jets was his bizarre, disturbing mid-air behavior, apparently mumbling as he tried to force his way to the front of the plane wearing a blanket on his head and carrying a laptop. This morning, this new video shows the moment FBI agents led Anil Uskaniel off the American Airlines jet in Honolulu. Minutes earlier, he was led cuffed down the aisle.
He was pretty disheveled.
Authorities say while Flight 31 was about halfway from Los Angeles to Honolulu Friday, Uskaniel, a Turkish national, tried to force his way to the front of the plane.
He looked like he wasn't all there.
Passengers telling us he was carrying something.
He did have a laptop in the beginning. That's what he was holding.
With a blanket over his head.
Draped over him like this. I never saw his face or anything.
A flight attendant then spotting Uskaniel moving toward the cockpit. According to the airline, the crew using a beverage cart to block his path. Almost immediately, a passenger jumping in. He was an off-duty LAPD officer helping restrain Uskaniel for the rest of the flight.
We saw duct tape being gotten zipped tied. Yeah.
These F-22 fighter jets scrambled to escort the passenger plane to Honolulu as other pilots were told about the unfolding event.
We're canceling the airport approach right now for inbound emergency.
After Uskaniel was escorted off the jet, passengers deplaned, lining up so officials and dogs could inspect their belongings. An explosives team sweeping the aircraft. But hours before Uskaniel was booted off the plane, the shaggy-haired passenger was reportedly raising red flags, allegedly opening a secure door on the ground at LAX. He was cited, but allowed to board his flight to Honolulu anyway. Now, those explosive units, they didn't find anything on the plane. Nobody was hurt, and the suspect is now undergoing medical evaluation as investigators try to figure out what he was trying to do on that plane. But with the laptop threats recently and those jets scrambled, Dan and Paul, you can imagine how terrifying it must have been for some of those 181 passengers on board that plane.
Absolutely. Matt Gutman, thank you for your reporting.